Hi, I'm Marissa Lynn, a plus-size yoga instructor, here to help you find self-love and confidence in a yoga practice. Today we're going to do a 15-minute flow that's going to open your hips and your heart, help you look inward, and find that connection with your body. Before we get started, let's do some grounding breaths together. Either with your legs crossed or on your knees, whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe you place a block underneath you here for some support. Place one hand on your belly, one on your chest. We'll inhale deeply through our nose. Exhale through our mouth. Inhale through your nose. And release. Sigh it out. Fill up. Let it go. Do that a few more times on your own. Really filling up your belly with that air and pushing it out, releasing any of that tension. From here, we'll switch to our Ujjayi breath. Our Ujjayi breath is breathing in through our nose and out through our nose. Constricting in the back of our throat, making that oceanic sound. Your Ujjayi breath is your temperature regulating breath. This is going to keep you within your yoga practice. It's going to build the heat internally. And also when your mind starts to wander, you come back to that Ujjayi breath and you're back in your practice. I'll be cueing inhales and exhales the whole time. When I'm doing that, it's that in through your nose and exhaling through your nose. We'll go ahead and take child's pose. I encourage you to place a blanket underneath your knees or maybe a separate mat that you have here, because we are going to be on our knees for a little bit of time as we're doing some hip openers. This is just going to help you give that extra support and that extra cushion as we lower down. So knees wide on the mat, toes touching, booty sits back by your heels, and then you're going to slowly walk your hands out towards the top of your mat. When you feel like you can't go any further without hurting yourself, you're going to drop your forearms to the mat. This is super helpful here to not put all the weight in your forehead. I also want to note that my knees are out wide so that my belly has space to be, because we love her and we want her to feel supported. So we'll walk our hands out, activating that Ujjayi breath in through your nose and out through your nose, and slowly lowering your forehead to the mat, a place of grounding here. Continuing to breathe here. For some of us, this is perfectly fine, but it might be a little uncomfortable to go straight down to the mat. So this is where I would say place some blankets or place some pillows down on your chest and your belly area so that you are able to release down without any discomfort. We'll inhale up to tabletop, so releasing any props that might be in your way. Coming onto our knees with the blanket or with not. Our shoulders are over our wrists, our knees are under our hips. Big hands placed onto the mat here. Elbows aren't out like this, but they aren't completely tucked in that it's painful. We just want kind of the eyes of your elbows towards the front of the room here. Weight is distributed between each of my fingertips. This is going to help keep the weight off of your wrist if you have any wrist pain. Another way to make this more accessible for you might be to place some blocks underneath your hands here as well. On our inhale, we're going to tilt our tailbone up and our head is going to follow for cow. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Head is the last thing to tuck, cat. Inhale, cow. Starting at that base of the spine, ending with the head. Exhale, cat, tucking at the base of the spine. Taking that a few more times on your own. Our inhales are cows and our exhales are cats. Staying here with this motion or closing your eyes and getting a little funky with it. Maybe moving back into barrel rolls, sitting back into child, coming all the way forward, whatever feels good for you and your body. And remember, no one is watching. And continuing our breath here. We'll set up for a few bird dogs. Right arm reaches out in front of you. Weight is still distributed evenly between all three limbs on the ground. On our inhale, we reach. And on our exhale, we crunch it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale. And exhale. Back to tabletop. One more inhale for a cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, half bird dog. Left arm reaches forward. Weight is distributed evenly between the rest of our limbs. We're pointing our fingers forward. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Last time, inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Great job. Let's stomp our feet into the ground and sit back into child's pose again for a little rest. While you remain in child's pose and continue to breathe, I want to remind you that with each posture we create in our bodies today, it is an opportunity to listen to our body. What does it need? What doesn't it like? If something's painful, how can we adjust? Or how can we avoid it completely? You don't need to go to a yoga class and do everything. You need to do what's good for you. The only way you're going to be confident in your body is by respecting it. By not listening to it, we are disrespecting it, and therefore you're not going to have this mind-body alignment that you're looking for. Inhale back up to tabletop. Inhale back up to tabletop here. You're going to take your right foot and step it between your hands. Now for me, because of my chest and my foot situation, my hands aren't hitting the ground here. Perfect place for blocks. I'm placing my blocks in between it on either side of I'm placing my blocks on either side of my foot. On my inhale, I'm rising up, activating through the core and lunging into that right leg, feeling this beautiful stretch right here on the left side. I told you, a blanket is a great way to help us here. We're activating our core. We're relaxing our shoulders and taking some deep breaths. On our exhale, we'll sit back into half split. For our weight over to the back here. I don't know if you can see, but that lifted my front toe up, which is great. Again, this is hard to kind of stand here and hover. So we can take our blocks and put them on the sides of our body here just for a little bit of balance. We're thinking about scissoring our legs, our left leg forward, our right leg back here, pointing through those toes, maybe walking our hands out, and on our exhale, dropping the head. Inhale back through low lunge, lunging into that right leg, arms reach up over our heads. Exhale, sending it back to half split. Inhaling through low lunge. Exhaling, sending it back. Lunge. Open up that chest. Exhale, send it back. Last time, inhaling, arms up, opening up our chest, exhaling, back to half split. Bringing our knee back down into tabletop. We'll take one cat-cow. Before stepping our left foot between our hands. Placing those blocks on either side here. Lunging into that leg, inhale, arms rise up. shoulders are relaxed down our back. We're not on top of our kneecap. We're kind of we're not directly on that kneecap as well. So if that's uncomfortable for you, don't do it. Exhale, sending it back into half split. Scissoring that left leg back, right hip forward. And our toe is up to the sky, head bows down. Inhaling back up through low lunge. Exhale, send it back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale it up. Send it back. Last time, inhale. Exhale, send it back. We'll step our foot back to meet the other. Plant our hands and cat-cow one last time. Make sure you have enough room in front of you, and you're going to slowly walk your hands all the way out to then pull forward onto your chest. You're going to have to remove your blanket carefully and lower completely flat to the ground. Arms are out, elbows are out wide, palms are underneath your forehead. Place your forehead on your palms and release into the mat, continuing that Ujjayi breath. Maybe you need to wiggle out your hips here to get comfortable. Cactusing your arms out wide. We're going to roll over onto our left side with our arms staying down on the ground here. This right foot might step behind you, it might not. We are focusing on this pectoral muscle here and stretching out our chest. Head can lay on the ground, or if it doesn't hit like me, feel free to put a block or a pillow here. Rolling back through center and taking that on the other side. Arms out in goalpost, rolling over to the right side, maybe left foot steps behind. Face can plant on a block or a pillow. And coming back through center, pushing up into tabletop, then sitting back into a seat. Closing your eyes and placing your hands on your lap. We'll take one deep cleansing breath together. Inhale through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. Give yourself a hug. Thank you so much for joining me on your mat today. I hope that this hip and chest opener made you feel more confident in your body. More to come from me. Let me know what you'd like to see from me in the comments. Thank you for being here.